You using Catholic guilt on me?
I learned it from the best.
Right on.
I gotta tell you, I loved this movie. I was crying like almost instantly. And then laughing and then crying again and then laughing and then crying again. What was it for you that really like drew you to this story?
Yeah, I think similar to what you're feeling is, I like movies that are exploring, things in life, moments, experiences. And so I think one of the powerful things of the movie is you have the perspective of being a kid for all of us and what that is in those family events. And then it kind of flashes forward and you realize and you hit the impact of being in a different very stage of life. And I like exploring, kind of authentically, what is that? How do we walk through that? What are we looking for? And so I was raised with my granny in the house with me, my grandmother. She moved in with us. And so I really loved that this was a real place and a true story. I'd never heard of the restaurant, but that Joe created a place where he brought Italian grandmothers in to be the cooks, to make the recipes that were their family recipes that they used to feed their family and to celebrate life. And I thought that was such an interesting idea and such a great send-up to these ladies and this culture, which then, of course, he ended up making it Nonnas of the world, where he had women from all different backgrounds come and cook traditional dishes. So there was just something wonderful about that. And then you're dealing with the loss of a parent, but recognizing where they're alive in spirit and food and what they taught you and, searching for that bond, that connection that is, you start to realize is a part of you always. And then also, what does that next chapter look like for someone? What do you do with these feelings and how do you create community and family? And I think what a lot of people want, which is love and connection and, good experiences and relationships and bonds that are meaningful. That's what I think we all cherish and strive to have in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I love there's the one line where I forget who said it, but one of the Nonnas says, he's celebrating us, like he's not taking advantage of us. And I'm like, oh, I love that so much because that really is what it's about,
Yes, and I think sometimes we don't do that enough, and you don't want to live your life that way, but express that gratitude and that celebration, that love you have for, family members, friends, people in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do love that the real Joe makes a cameo in the movie. So how did that come about?
Yeah, they just, I had the pleasure of going down and meeting him. I was really impressed with him. He real artist. He loved creating the experience. He was focused on, the idea of it. And it really came from Stephen's wife, Liz, who wrote the story and was inspired by this. And I was, when they came to me, I just connected to so many elements of the film. It was nice. I think it's a kind of movie that people want to see where it's about something, it's about people. You're dealing with stuff, but there's some humor and some laughter and some feelings in it too.
Yeah, and so much good food. I'm watching this getting starving.
Stop,
How much did you eat on
I can't.
set?
The food is too much. When I watch it now, I go crazy.
I was like, this all sounds amazing, except I don't know about the sheep's head. Have you ever tried that before?
I have not tried that particular dish.
No, not brave enough?
I guess I would, but it hasn't been like something that I've had.
I was like, I don't know about this.
I don't know about this either.
Yeah. No, I do want to talk about the rest of the cast for the Nonnas especially. Like, can you talk about working with them? Because they're such a joy on screen.
I mean, they're so iconic, right? And been part of so many touchstone movies, all of these wonderful actresses. So it was a joy to be with all of them and to watch them and to get to ask questions about all these great movies that they've been in. And I mean, the art imitates life. This was really a celebration and a spotlight and a send up to all of them and their craft as much as Nonnas is as a place for these chefs.
Yeah, it's such a great story, so beautiful. I do have to ask you before we wrap though, Dodgeball 2 supposedly happening. Any update on this? Because I need that movie.
Yeah, it's funny. There's been a good idea for the story that's fun and good, and it's not like something that we're planning on doing right this second, but there's a good idea and it's possible. I would only do one of these sequels to one of these movies if I thought the next story was a good story for what would come next and not just trying to do the version of what you saw. So yeah, there's definitely a possibility of that.
Yeah, because I mean, like you say, these movies are so iconic that it's like you need something special to bring it back.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time,
Great
Vince.
to
I
see
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
like
you.
I said, I love this movie so much. I can't wait to watch it again and again. Nonnas, I'm like, I need to like show my family. I'm Greek, so it's similar.
So similar. Like Big Fat Greek Wedding, I think, was so universal to everyone, whatever that is, because you recognize the family and in the culture and the traditions and that. So yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, there was a lot. I was like, oh, this is my family too. I see this.
I lost my cat last year, so I understand the grieving process.
I'm sorry about your cat, I didn't know.